Wow, what's happening, folks? It is more official than a ref for the whistling. You posted with me, P the G on Radio PG. Unfortunately, again, we do not have a broski cap droski. However, comma pause for effect. We just got me. I'm my very own special guest, and I am glad to have me here. It is an honor and a pleasure, and I'm so glad to be a part of this show, Rated PG. Thanks for having me. You're very welcome. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram at PDiddyBoppa, PDIDDYBOPPAH. Follow me on Instagram at Piere with one R, PIERE, GUYTON, or Chill Cosby. I don't know why I haven't changed that, but that's what it is. Shows coming up. Today is Sunday the 10th. I have a show the 13th. It's a Wednesday at Smokes and Jokes. It's going to be at I Hookah on Delk Road at 8 p.m. I believe it's free admission. BYOB, bring your own burr, you know what I'm talking about. Then the 15th of this month of November, I will be at the Village Theater for the You Got Time comedy competition. That show starts at 7 p.m. Really great show to figure out if your material's good or not. If it's not good, you get booed off stage. Ain't nothing major. Just fuck your dreams a little bit. Then the 19th, I will be at the Laughing Skull Lounge at 8 p.m. for the open mic comedy night. I always love going to Laughing Skull Lounge. It's really dope. It's more official than a ref with a whistle. And yeah, man, I'm just living my best life. You know what I'm saying? Things been going Traptastic So Super. Had a lot of cool guests come on Radio PG recently. I have a bunch of cool people coming up on Radio PG in the next week or so. Y'all just gonna have to tune in and see what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? I've had a couple of really cool shows recently. Where have I been since the last time we've been on this episode? Yeah, I was at the Synchronicity Theater. That's in downtown Atlanta with Zay Jordan. Thank you, Zay Jordan. And also, that was the art school shit show. That was my 100th stand-up show this year that I did. Thank you so much. That just means everyone who has not seen me at a show this year has missed 100 opportunities to see this Stone Cold Coonery. But fear not, there are not that many bookings left for this year. But you can still come fuck with me. I'll be at some open mics and stuff like that. But the show at the Synchronicity Theater, Zay Jordan's a writer for Adult Swim. He also is a stand-up comedian. He's a director. He's a playwright. He's a filmmaker, like extraordinary individual. I think a lot of people sleep on the fact that, you know, a lot of people be working hard. He's one of those hard-working individuals. I want to thank him for the opportunity to perform at the art school shit show. Roscoe Dash is there. He got to see me bomb a little bit. That was really dope. I didn't bomb, but I'm just really hard on myself. But that was a great show. I was also at the Feed Me Funny show. That is also a really great show. That was like a Halloween edition. Dressed up as an alien, had the skin tight suit on, went and told some jokes. That was really dope. The food's always phenomenal. I think that was the last show that they're doing for this year. Shout out to Rick, Ford, and Hazel. You know what I'm saying? Rick and Hazel, they're top tier folks. Yeah, that's a great show. I think they're going to be picking it up sometime next year, probably at a new location or a couple of different locations. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Keith Vance, Dora Monica, always fucking with your boy. Then I also had a show at Atlanta Brewing Company. Almost didn't make that show. There was a little bit of traffic. I made it there like 3 minutes before I was supposed to go on stage. Went on there, just had a really good set. It was a really great show. I love when people come up and talk to you after the show, let you know what they thought. If you did not do well and you stick around and wait for people, that's what I do. I'm not gonna lie. When I think I've had a really good set, I usually wait and let people walk past me for them to tell me how great of a set that they thought I did as well. Because I just want to know if we agree with each other. I've never had somebody come up to me and be like, yo, that was trash. But I have been next to someone when I also thought I did really well, and people will come up to that next person and be like, oh, that was a really great set. Look at me and then keep walking. I'm like, did not have a really great set. Not as good as you did, but that's cool. That's cool. It's not a competition. It is. But, you know, whatever. Atlanta Brewing Company is a dope show. That I was also at the Laughing Skull Lounge like twice. Laughing Skull Lounge is a phenomenal comedy club. Like, it is very, very culturally acceptable place for comedy. Like, people actually come there to see comedy, you know what I'm saying? So, it's not like they're there and they didn't know comedy was going on, but it's a great spot. They've always been really nice to me, showed me all the love at Laughing Skull Lounge, man. It's a great spot to go to all the time. I recommend everyone and their mother to go to Laughing Skull Lounge. Then, where else was I? $10 comedy show at Highland Inn and Ballroom. Thank you, Joe Pettis, Alex Libby, for reaching out and letting me do that show twice. It is such a great show, man. It's like a lot of the time, some people at the show, the energy there is just like electric dynamite. You feel me? And like it's the laughter there, it's like real. It's like some people don't expect to see that level of comedy or at least be entertained to that level. It's like, man, it's like they're excited, they're happy that they came to the show, and I like to see that type of energy. But I love doing a $10 show. I love doing all shows, but that $10, what the fuck? That shit is lit, man. I'd love to do Sweetwater at some point. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, brother. Also had a show at the Omni Hotel at the Battery yesterday. That was the Laughing Skull Lounge, Best of Atlanta. That was a dope spot. It was inside of a restaurant. Staff there is really dope. Good fucking drinks. I ain't even a drinker, you know what I'm saying? I don't even drink like that, but I was fucking them shits up. It was a foxtail or a cocktail. I don't know what it was called. That shit was hitting, bruh. DJ Binge the DJ, I'm sorry. Binge the DJ was there, met him, super cool DJ dude. Want to link up with him, get him on Radio PG at some point. Also, I got married. I don't know if I've done an episode since I've been married, but I's married now. Usually when you tell people you're married, women are always hell excited. They're just like, yes! Oh my God, let me see the ring. Let me see it. I ain't never really had a dude, after I told him I was married, but let me see the ring. I think we all know that we just got some little piece of shit rink-dink thing. I don't think a man has ever made a huge deal about his wedding ring and what it looks like. Like, this isn't going to work. You got to go get me something else. Women, yeah. Well, my woman, she was a little bit like that. And it's cool, you know what I'm saying? And people ask me, are things different? Have things changed since you guys been married? Like, you know, what's so different? Anything changed? And I'm going to tell you right now, like, before we got married, I've always been told or heard that, that when you get married, things are going to be different. It's not going to be the same. Whoop-de-whoop, ah. However, I'm here to tell you all that maybe my case is a little different because I've been with the same woman for 11 years. We've lived together about 7, maybe 8 years of our 11-year relationship. So we already hated each other at the beginning. So we got all the fighting and all the arguing and why you keep peeing on the floor and leaving the toilet seat up and, you know, why is there always a handful of hair in the shower? You know, we got all that shit out the way. So things didn't really change once we got married. And if they did change, it probably changed for the worse. And it's for me. Her behavior has gotten so much worse. Oy vey. If it's not worse, then I think she just stopped trying to impress me. You know, I just tell people, like, you ever be working somewhere you really, really want that job? So you come in early, you stay late, you help people out, you do the extra effort, you do what you need to do. And then let's say you're at this job and then the CEO comes in and tells you that he is never going to fire you. And if he does fire you, you have the right to sue them. At that point, if this was me, I'm never coming in early again. I'm never staying late. It's going to be the polar opposite. I am going to come in late and then leave early. I'm not going to give a shit about the staff there. I'm not going to care about helping anyone but myself. And I believe that's what happened with this one right here. And you know, she makes a lot more money than me. And people ask, like, how does that make you feel? I mean, before, it made me feel a little bit insecure. And I never really understood why people wanted to sign, or I never understood why women would get upset when a man would ask them to sign a prenup before they got married. But now that I'm the broke one in the relationship, I know exactly why they would get upset. Because, like, I ain't got no money, you ain't had no money when we was together all these years, and now suddenly you get some money, and before we get married, you want to cut me off from said money? I don't fucking think so. If you want to cheat, go ahead. Get you some extra dick, but I'm going to sue you for it. Will I be sad? Absolutely. But you don't feel so sad when you got half of somebody else's money. So I think that's going to be the cushion for the pushing if you want to leave me. She tells me, well, you're the one that's a comedian. You're so funny. Maybe you going to be the one to fuck around and cheat on me. And I'm just going to wait until you get a big Netflix or an HBO special. And then I'm going to divorce you and sue you and take everything that you own. And I was like, yeah, okay. That's fair. That's fair. She was like, you're going to leave this relationship with the exact same thing you came in it with. And that is a PlayStation 4 and 2 bags of clothes. And I was like, there was a reason why I said I do, because I do love you, girl. And you know, they say once you get married, you're going to stop having sex so much. That is not true. I'm going to tell y'all right now. That stopped when I proposed. Yeah, that pretty much happened. Like I said, you don't have to do any extra credit work if you already passed the class, you feel me? So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this semester with a D. I'm just going to get a strong 70 for a pass. You know, I don't need to get a 4.0, just need at least a 3. Somebody else asked, does it feel weird wearing a wedding ring all the time? No. To be honest, I've never really had jewelry in the first place. So, I mean, no, if anything, I feel fancier. You know what I'm saying? I got me a little piece of, you know what I'm saying? I got me a little bit on this thing, you know what I'm saying? This shit, I'll be stunting on these hoes, you know what I'm saying? The devil. See, this right here attracts evil. And you keep this on your hand to ward off evil spirits. So whenever the little female be coming up, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm like, excuse me. Excuse me. Do you know what time it is, sir? Excuse me. It is 1:30. Get the fuck away from me, okay? Weird thing for me, though, with the wedding ring. I remember the first time I decided to beat my meat after we got married. I didn't know if I needed to take the ring off. So I started with a ring on, and I was like, you know, this don't feel too right. I gotta take it off. So then I take the ring off, start going, feels completely normal, just fine, natural. And then when I was finished, I put it back on, and I couldn't help but feel like I was cheating. Never felt like I was cheating before until I got married. And I want to know, do anybody watching this video, if you're a married person, I want to know, do you, or when you first got married, did you take your ring off to masturbate? Or do you still now take your ring off to masturbate? Or do you just keep it on? Do you think about your wife when you masturbate? I don't know. Everybody's different. I don't know what kind of gambuchi you got in your fuchi. You feel me? What else? But no, I don't feel strange wearing the ring all the time. It feels just fine to me. I posted this video on Instagram, but none of you watch my Instagram content. But I wanted to ask everybody a question. Like, I asked a bunch of men, bunch of women the same question here. In a relationship, when you get married, Obviously, the man buys the engagement ring and when he proposes. Everybody know that. Now, this is where things get a little murky here. Who buys the man's wedding ring? I've heard some. Most of the people I would ask were men first, and I've asked a lot of men. Let's say out of 10, 6 to 7, 6.78 of them, about 6.8, let's say 6.8 of them, said that the woman bought the man's wedding ring. Now, of this 3.2 that's missing, 2% of the men said that, or 2 of this 3.2 said that they bought their own wedding rings. And then the other, whatever fuck is left, 1.2, had a story or something else that went along with getting the ring. Everybody had different stories. So I found out that I had to buy my own wedding ring, and I did not know. I was under the impression that she was going to purchase my wedding ring. And this is the day before we went to the courthouse. I come home from work and she was like, oh shit, babe, we gotta go get your ring. And I said, cool, that's a team effort. We should go get that. So get dressed, we go to the mall together. We go to Annie P's together. And get one pretzel that we eat, guess what? You named it, together with the cheese. It was fantastic. We were having a great afternoon thus far. And then we walked downstairs and I was like, yo, this is where I got your ring from. And she was like, okay, cool. Keeps walking. I'm standing there. I was like, where are you going? She said, Sephora. For those of you who don't know, Sephora is a makeup store. Very high and expensive shit. So I say, didn't we come here to get a ring? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, do they sell rings in Sephora? She was like, no. I was like, okay, so why the fuck are you going to Sephora? She was like, to get makeup. And I was like, okay, what about the ring? She says, what about it? I say, well, aren't you going to come in there with me to get it? And she was like, no, you can just get whatever you want. And I was like, whatever I want? She was like, yeah, get whatever you want. I'm like, this is what's up. This is cool. And she starts walking again, and I was like, come back. And she was like, why? And I was like, how am I going to get the ring? And she just stared at me for a second. I was like, you're just going to get it. And I said, no. Are you going to give me your debit card? And she just said, why would I give you my debit card? And it was at this moment I realized there was very likely a miscommunication between the two of us at some point. So I wanted to elaborate on that. If you want a relationship to work out, you got to communicate a little better. So I says, I think you're under the impression that I am going to buy my own wedding ring. Am I correct in this assumption? And she said, yeah. And I said, cool. That's fucked up, but cool. And she was like, what's fucked up? And I said, well, I bought your ring. She was like, yeah. And I was like, and you don't buy mine? And she was like, no, you buy your own wedding ring. And then it was just a long silence between us. And I eventually broke it, and I was like, all right, so like when I bought your ring, I was under the impression that you were going to buy my ring. Now, had I known that you weren't going to buy my ring when I bought your ring, check this, I would not have spent so much money on your ring when I got it. I would have gotten both of our rings for a bundle. Probably for half the price that I got yours. I would have gotten both of ours. And I was unaware that I needed to buy 2 rings for a wedding. And then she was like, well, you have to get a band too. And I said, we are not getting a fucking band for a wedding. And she said, no, a wedding band is what goes around the wedding ring. And I was like, what do you mean? She said, the engagement ring gets a band around it, and that's what makes it a wedding ring. And I said, so I I bought you an incomplete ring at first and you knew it was supposed to come with something else and you just didn't say anything? She's like, well, I thought you knew. I was like, I don't know shit about shit, okay? And she was like, well, just go get your ring. Now, I didn't even bring all my money with me to the mall because I was unaware that I had to buy my own ring. So she leaves. I walk into the store. There's a couple of people there, and I have this sad look on my face because I know how broke I am, and I didn't want to tell this lady. So I'm looking, and a woman comes up. She's like, can I help you? And I was like, yeah. What are you looking for? And I said, a wedding ring. And she was like, well, what kind of wedding ring? And I was like, I would like a wedding ring that's in the price range of someone who did not know that they had to buy a wedding ring until they got here. That makes sense? She was like, yeah, let's go over here. She walks me all the way to the right of all these rings, and it's this big, elaborate showcase, and she takes out these keys, unlocks it, opens the shit up, puts this ring in my hand. It was black, sun gold. It just looked like yellow. I don't know, it was shiny as shit. And then I turned it and it had like 4 diamonds in it. And I was like, how much is this? And she said, $9,500. And I was like dollars? She was like, yes, $9,500. And I was like, cool, so like American dollars? She was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, so like you can put that shit back. I'm sorry, I touched it. And she was like, you serious? And I said, yeah, it's probably worth a lot less now that my middle class fingers have been all over that ring. And she was like, okay, well, what are you looking for? Not this? And I said, how about something without diamonds in it? And she said, okay. Closed it up, locks it. We go like Beyonce, to the left, to the left. And she opens up this other showcase, and there was some shiny rings too. And she was like, well, these are some of our precious golds. And before she even put it in my hand, I said, precious, I don't like that. She was like, what? And I said, why you say it like that? She says, say what? I said, like precious golds. That makes it sound like it's got like some value to it. She was like, well, yeah. And before she touched it, I said, how much is that ring? And then she said, $3,500. I said, dollars? And she was like, yes, 3,500 American dollars. I said, you can put that shit right back too. And she was like, yeah. And I said, like, do you have something that's like not precious gold? It could just be regular gold. Doesn't even actually have to be real gold even. And then she was like, okay, so we go to the left, one more time. And then she opens up this other case, and I see a ring. Kind of looked like copper, looked pretty cool, like a Lord of the Ring type ring. So I picked it up, and I was like, how much is this one? And she said $850 American. And I was like, all right, so yeah, you can put that back too. And she was like, okay, so what are you looking for? And I was like, something else. So she was like, well, these are some of our alternative metals. And I said, hey, like the way that sounds, alternative metal. Alternative, I was in alternative geometry. That's like kind of like geometry. And metal, like, yeah, it's kind of like gold. So what we got over here? So the one I got right here, it's white gold, sterling silver, and a stainless steel finish, which is front refrigerator door. And I was like, how much is this? And she said $250. And I was like, you know what? I can fuck with $250. I can do that. And she was like, all right, well, you know, a ring is supposed to signify the love and the unity that you have with your... And I was like, okay, what's your name, honey? She said, Kelly. And I said, Kelly, that's a beautiful name, by the way. I, too, work in sales. So it's not necessary for you to use these words like love and unity and precious and value. I knew how broke I was when I walked in this motherfucker. So I know what I'm working with. And she was like, all right. So we walk over, we're talking, having a good time. She's pressing these fucking buttons on the computer. And I was like, so everything okay? She was like, yeah, everything's fine. And I said, all right, that's cool. And she says, your total is going to be, what did she say? $487. And I was like, all right, Kelly? She was like, yeah. And I was like, come here, can I talk to you for a second? And she was like, yeah. And I said, why are you charging me an additional $237 for a conversation? And then she said, well, is that too much money? And I said, first of all, lower your motherfucking voice. I don't need everybody hearing this. And I was like, second of all, can I get that ring back? And she was like, yeah. She puts it in my hand. I put it right back in the case. And right back to the case, I said, you see this number here that say 250? She was like, yeah. And I said, why the fuck did you just go over there and say it was $487? She was like, well, that's the warranty, the insurance, and the policy for this. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I don't need none of that. She was like, are you serious? I was like, I'm not positive. I'm definite. I need none of that shit on this ring. She said, well, what if you lose it? And I said, well, ma'am, I am a child of God, and he don't make mistakes. So if I lose this ring, it was meant to be. I wasn't meant to have it, probably because I spent way too much money on it. If I lose this ring, I'll just come back and buy another one that I wouldn't care too much of losing. And she was like, oh, okay. Get the ring. Everything's straptastic, oh so super. Go meet Sarah at Sephora. And I tell her, I was like, yo, got the ring. She was like, let me see it. Show it to her. She was like, that's cool. How much was it? And I was like, $250. And her response was, why the fuck did you just spend so much money on a ring? Her ring was $2,500. And she makes 20 times more money than me. So it folded me like a lawn chair to buy her ring. And she just spent probably $350 at Sephora on face powder and like war paint on her face that she can't even see unless she's in front of a mirror. So that is the ring situation that happened with us. And we also had a group wedding. If you don't know what a group wedding is, it's kind of like a Walmart wedding. It was just kind of like, there were like 30 couples in there at the courthouse, and the judge came in and was like, all rise, all rose. And, you know, he was like, look the person in the eyes that you are supposedly getting married to, your to-be, or your proposed, your promised. And everybody just turned about face to the right face. And he was like, repeat after me, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. We are gathered here today. And it was like that. It was pretty impressive, I suppose. And during this ceremony, there was a woman who was like taking pictures of somebody who was in front of us, and this woman kept bumping into my wife. And while I'm holding her hands, like saying my vows, she just stops and was like, I'm going to kick this bitch. And I was like, no, you're not. And she was like, yeah, I am. She bumps me one more time. I'm going to fucking kick her. And I was like, we're getting married right now. She was like, and I'm going to kick this bitch. And I just held her hands real tight, and I was like, you're not going to kick her. She was like, fine. I'm going to elbow her. I was like, you are too violent. We don't need to be doing this in front of God and all these people. We're in a courthouse. But no, it was fine. The family came out. It was really great to see everybody and all the good stuff. Got a couple of minutes left here. What else was I going to talk about? I don't know, man. It's been really dope. We got a dope lineup of comedians and other entertaining folk coming up for you guys on the next few episodes of Rated PG. Hopefully I'm going to get Rachel Epstein on here. Going to have Wellington Juku, hopefully Joel Byers, Cortland Wiggins, Madison Urseg, Greg Behrens, Brian King. Hopefully I can get Nick Murphy on this guy too. Dedrick Flynn, that's Tommy. Bunch of people, super proud. I know a bunch of people that's been doing real major things around the city. Super proud of y'all. You guys know who the fuck you are. Oh, and also I'm gonna have Raheem the Dream on here too. But yeah, man, want to thank you guys for tuning in on this episode of Rated PG. Been solo dolo with your bro. Hopefully this was entertaining, and if not, still don't give a shit. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Stay on the path. Do what you believe in. Want to give y'all some positivity, some words of encouragement. Y'all keep working hard. Make sure you believe in yourself. Prove everybody that doubts y'all wrong. Show up every day. Stay pure. Keep your heart more pure. Stay motivated. Stay inspired. Show love to your people. It's P. Diddy Bopper. I'll be black. If that's all right with you. Au revoir. I'ma bid you adieu. Ciao. Shalom. Auf Wiedersehen. Das Vidania. Assalamu alaikum. Aloha. Sayonara. Anya hasayo. Do vidzenia. Bye.